صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. ثانية على حب الحسن والحسين. على حب فاطمة الزهراء الثالثة بأعلى الأصوات. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد والثناء لله رب العالمين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا الأعظم محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة، ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة. يا ليتنا فيا ليتنا كنا معكم سيدي، فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما.
صل على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
قال تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال رب ارجعوني لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت، كلا إنها كلمة هو قائلها ومن ورائهم برزخ إلى يوم يبعثون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. عطروا أفواهكم وزينوا مجالسكم بذكر الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
There's a hadith from Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu was-salam where he says, إن ابن آدم إذا كان في آخر يوم من الدنيا وأول يوم من الآخرة مثل له ماله وولده وعمله. Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says that when the human being is on his deathbed and the soul is being drawn from his body, when he is in the last day in this worldly life and the first day in his hereafter, something happens known in the riwayat of Ahlul Bayt as Tajseedul A'mal. Your deeds, your actions will have an image. They will take on a form that is visible to you. Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says, each and every one of us, when we are in our last day of dunya and our first day of the akhirah, meaning we are in this transitionary period, three things will appear in front of your soul. The first is your wealth. مُثِّلَ لَهُ مَالُهُ. Your wealth will become an entity in front of your eyes. وَوُلْدُهُ. Your family will appear in front of you. وَعَمَلُهُ. The hadith says, فَيَلْتَفِتُ إِلَى مَالِهِ. The nature of the human being is the first thing that he's drawn to, that he's concerned about is what? His wealth. وَإِنَّهُ لِحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ. الخير يعني المال. His love for wealth is very intense. So when he feels in danger, vulnerable, he turns to his wealth for protection. فيلتفت إلى ماله ويقول والله إني كنت عليك لحريصا شحيحا. I was so protective of you. I used to check my balance and my bank account every few hours. I would worry about you, how to make you grow, how to safeguard you, how to preserve you. I spent a lot of time on you, gathering you, accumulating you. فَمَا لِي عِنْدَكَ. After all of these years of attention and effort to accumulate you, what do you have for me today? Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says, it will say, خُذْ مِنِّي كَفَنًا. This is the end of the story. After all of these years, your wealth will do one thing for you, that I won't leave you without anything to cover your body. Take from me your shroud, your kafan. That's it. Is there anyone who's taken more than the kafan in the grave? That's it. ثُمَّ يَلْتَفِتُ إِلَى وُلْدِهِ. Then he turns to who? His family, his children, his progeny. فَيَقُولُ وَاللَّهِ إِنِّي كُنْتُ لَكُمْ لَمُحِبًّا. I loved you so much. I showed you so much compassion. I clothed you, I fed you, I gave you shelter, I looked after you. وَإِنِّي كُنْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَامِيًا. I protected you. فَمَا لِي عِنْدَكُمْ. What are you going to do for me now? فَيَقُولُونَ نُؤَدِّيكَ إِلَى حُفْرَتِكَ وَنُوَارِيكَ فِيهَا. We're not going to let you die and just leave you laying on the earth. We're not going to allow your body to break down and decompose. We're going to take you to a hole in the ground, your grave, and we're going to cover it. We're going to give you a dignified burial. But beyond that, can they do anything else? Have you seen a mother spend the night in the grave with her child? Even the mother, she'll cry, she'll weep, but eventually everybody goes home. Everybody has to leave. And then Amir al-Mu'mineen, لا بصلوا على محمد وآل محمد. فَيَلْتَفِتُ إِلَىٰ عَمَلِهِ. Then he will look towards his a'mal, what he's done in his life. فَيَقُولُ وَاللَّهِ إِنِّي كُنْتُ فِيكَ لَزَاهِدٍ. He's supposed to be zahid with dunya, he's zahid with his a'mal. With his salah, what is the bare minimum? The bare minimum. With dunya, he's never satiated. He accepts mediocrity when it comes to his religiosity. But when it comes to dunya, he is very ambitious. إِنِّي كُنْتُ فِيكَ لَزَاهِدٍ وَإِنَّكَ كُنْتَ عَلَيَّ ثَقِيلًا. I used to consider you a burden. It's the time of salah. I have to go and watch Netflix. I have to go play basketball. I have a million other things that are a priority for me. It's a burden on me to do acts of righteousness, to give priority to my salah. So you will say, فَمَا لِي عِنْدَكَ. What do I have from you today? فَيَقُولُ عَمَلُهُ أَنَا قَرِينُكَ فِي قَبْرِكَ وَيَوْمِ حَشْرِكَ. I am the only one who will be with you when you're alone in that grave. I am the only one who will assist you when you come out of your grave on that day. يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مِّنْهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ. On that day when you're running away, when your closest family members turn their cheeks, I will be there to assist you. Then, as we mentioned, the soul departs the body, but you know, the soul remains close to the body even when it leaves the body. Why? Because the soul has been residing in this body for a long time, 50, 60, 70 years, so there is an attachment. There's an attachment to this body. They carry the janazah, and as Imam Al-Rida says, as we mentioned last night, إِذَا حَمَلْتُهُ إِلَىٰ قَبْرِهِ فَلَا تُفَاجِئْ بِهِ الْقَابِ. Ahlul Bayt say, when you take the coffin, don't put it straight away inside of the grave. Why? The Imam says, فَإِنَّ لِلْقَبْرِ أَهْوَالًا عَظِيمًا. The grave is very terrifying. The soul is frightened. So do it gradually. وَلَكِنْ ضَعْهُ دُونَ شَفِيرِ الْقَبْرِ. Put it on the ground, a few meters away from the grave, and push it slowly, 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 to prepare the soul for that plunge. The ahadith say, when the human being is buried, the mayyit, when he's lowered down into this grave, they say, فَتَخَيَّلَ لِي أَنِّي قَدْ سَقَطْتُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ فِي لَحْدِي. I felt as though I was falling from the heavens, a free fall, into that dark, constricted, narrow hole in the ground. In the end, we all have to go there. You can deny it. You can pretend that, oh, it's not going to happen anytime in the future. But you know, when you go to the cemetery, have you read the dates on some of the tombstones? Does death only target the elderly? Or sometimes you see there are young people. There are many times where you go to the grave, you're reading the tomb of someone who's many years younger than you. Malakul Maut doesn't discriminate. He takes when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him the signal. There's a request, brothers and sisters, to move forward. There are some who are trying to enter the masjid, so please stand up. Come close to the minbar. رحم الله من ذكر القائم من آل محمد. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
الثالثة بأعلى أصواتكم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
There's a hadith that says, when you are lowered into the grave, many of us think, now Munkar and Nakir come. Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they say no. There is something that happens to the human being before the arrival of Munkar and Nakir. There is something that the ahadith describe as tasjilul a'mal. Tasjilul a'mal, the recording of the deeds. The ahadith say that on the first night, when you are first in the grave, before the arrival of Munkar and Nakir, Ahlul Bayt say there is an angel that appears. Fattanul Qubur, an angel that comes who will aid you in the recording of your deeds. Who's going to write the book of your a'mal? You're going to write it. The angel will come and it will say to the human being, Uktub amalak. Record your deeds. Min hasanatin wa sayyi'ah. The human being will say, what? Initially, I don't remember. Yes? This malak will say, have you not read in the book of Allah where he says, Ahsahu Allahu wa nasu? You forgot maybe, but it's all recorded. I will assist you. The hadith says, فَكَتَبَ مَا عَمِلَ فِي الدُّنْيَا مِنْ حَسَنٍ. You have nothing but time now, yes? You start to record, you start by recording the good that you did. You don't want to start recording with the sins. Yes? You record, you record, you record until you document all of the hasanat, all of the good that you've done. But eventually you're going to run out. Yes, you don't have an infinite supply of good deeds. You stop. The hadith from Imam al-Sadiq says, فَإِذَا بَلَغَ بِسَيِّئَاتِهِ استحيا. When it comes the time now to begin writing dhunub, sayyi'at, sins, the human being pauses because he's embarrassed to now confess. The malak, this angel, notices that the human being is embarrassed. فَيَقُولُ لَهُ الْمَلَكُ يا خاطئ أفلا كنت تستحي من خالقك حين عملتها في الدنيا والآن تستحي مني. You're embarrassed to record the deed now. Why weren't you ashamed when you performed it in Allah's presence? You're embarrassed of the makhluk. You had the audacity to disobey the Khaliq, the Creator. He records until all of the deeds are documented. And then it is put around his neck. You may tell me, are we talking about the physical body? The physical body is gone. Inshallah, in the upcoming nights we'll speak about the body that the soul will reside in after death, after this physical body is decomposed. Al-Jismul Mithali, as the ahadith mentioned. It's put around his neck. You know, have you been to, certain employers, they make you wear an ID badge. Yes? Your ID badge of Alamul Akhirah is all of your a'mal in dunya. إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. In dunya, people respect you because of the car you drive, the clothes you wear, how much money you have. In alam al-akhirah, your ID is what? Your record of a'mal. The ayah says, وَكُلَّ إِنسَانٍ أَلْزَمْنَاهُ طَائِرَهُ فِي عُنُقِهِ. It's all recorded there. Then you find Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says, after tasjeel al-a'mal is complete, this is when the moment comes for the interrogation. Amir al-Mu'mineen, salawatullahi alayhi. When I mention the name of Amir al-Mu'mineen, we have to recite a loud salawat. He says, after they put the dirt, they lower him in the grave, they put the dirt, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, حَتَّى إِذَا انصَرَفَ الْمُشَيِّعُ وَرَجَعَ الْمُتَفَجِّعُ. There are two types of people that come to any funeral. The general public who participate in the tashyi', and then there's the direct family. They are the ones who are really suffering. Imam says, when the general public leave, إِذَا انصَرَفَ الْمُشَيِّعُ وَرَجَعَ الْمُتَفَجِّعُ. When the family leaves, the mother, the father, the children, when they all leave, what happens? You think you leave and that's it? Nothing is happening underneath the soil? Imam says, حتى إذا انصرف المشيع ورجع المتفجع أقعد في حفرته نجيا لبهتة السؤال وعثرة الامتحان. Imam says, at that moment, after tasjeel al-a'mal, when everyone leaves, this is when he is put in the position of interrogation and questioning. Now, there's a hadith that says in the grave, before the arrival of Munkar and Nakir, there are certain things that appear in the grave. The grave, you see it as a dark hole. But al-qab, إما روضة من رياض الجنة أو حفرة من حفر النيران. There are ghaybiyat, unseen things that are happening. The hadith says from Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq salawatullahi alayhi, he says, يسأل الميت في قبره عن خمس. After you are asked about your aqa'id, man rabbuk, man nabiyuk, you're also asked about other things. An salatih. Don't think salah, Allah is going to ask about it on the day of judgment. Even in the grave, an salatih, your prayers, wa zakatih, wa hajjihi, wa siyamih, وولايته إيانا أهل البيت فتقول الولاية. These things will have a form in the grave. فتقول الولاية من جانب القبر للأربع. The wilayah, this love, this devotion that you have for Al Muhammad will say, ما دخل في كن من نقص فعلي تمامه. If there is any deficiency in either of you, we will complete it. Why? Because the entire purpose of your salah, your zakah, your hajj, your fasting is what? Tazkiyatun nafs. And the ones who have the purest souls are Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. So the individual is questioned about these things. Now you may ask me, is there an ayah in the Quran that speaks about the questioning in the grave? Because we have a hadith from Imam al-Sadiq, من أنكر ثلاث أشياء فليس من شيعتنا. Whoever denies or rejects any of these three things, he's not one of our followers. Al-Mi'raj. Anyone who says, what do you mean Mi'raj? Rasulullah went to the heavens? Just because your feeble mind cannot understand these metaphysical realities doesn't mean that it didn't happen. There are many things that you don't understand that are real. There are many things about the natural world that you don't understand. But that doesn't mean that they're not realities. Al-Mi'raj. Then the Imam says, وَالْمَسْأَلَةُ فِي الْقَبْرِ. The questioning in the grave, وَالشَّفَاعَةِ. The intercession of the Ahlul Bayt. Where is it mentioned in the Quran that there is the questioning in the grave? Ahlul Bayt, they say in Surah Ibrahim, verse 27, the ayah says, يُثَبِّتُ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِالْقَوْلِ الثَّابِتِ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthens the believers with the firm word in this life and the akhirah. Ahlul Bayt say, Al-Qawlu Thabit fil akhirah is related to how you answer to the questioning of Munkar and Nakir in the grave. Why? When we do the talqeen, have you been to the cemetery? You notice that when they're putting the janazah inside of the grave, they do talqeen. إذا أتاك الملكان منكر ونكير وسألاك عن ربك فقل الله ربي, and you go on and on. And then you say what? To the mayyit, ثبتك الله بالقول الثابت. You see, القول الثابت, the firm word, is a reference to this. Now, you may ask me, is it possible for the dead to hear? Can the dead hear the living? There's a hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. La sallu ala Muhammad. Rasulullah, he says, إن الميت ليسمع خفق النعال على قبره. Allah. Rasulullah says the dead, they hear the tapping of the sandals on their graves. They have awareness. They can hear. They can't respond, but they can hear. After the battle of Badr, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi was walking among the dead in the battlefield. He sees Abu Jahl, Utbah ibn Rabi'a, Shayba ibn Utbah. These kuffar, they're slain. They are the arch enemies of Rasulullah. Rasulullah, he stands and he speaks to their dead bodies. Ya Aba Jahl, Ya Utbah ibn Rabi'a, Ya Shayba ibn Rabi'a, هل وجدت ما وعدكم ربكم حقا? Have you found that the promise of Allah is true? Do you see now there's akhirah? Do you see? فقد وجدت ما وعدني ربي حقا. I see that the promise of Allah is true. The hadith says, Umar ibn al-Khattab, he says to the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, ما خطابك لهام قد صديت. Ya Rasulullah, are you speaking to the dead? Umar objected. What did Rasulullah say? مه يا ابن الخطاب. مه يا ابن الخطاب. مه, what does it mean? يعني اسكت. Don't talk. Be silent. فوالله ما أنت بأسمع منه. You are not able to hear better than them. They hear just as good as you hear. And then usually we stop here. The hadith continues. وَمَا بَيْنَهُمْ. He's looking at these enemies of Allah. وَمَا بَيْنَهُمْ وَبَيْنَ أَن تَأْخُذُهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ بِمَقَامِ الْحَدِيدِ. The only thing that is keeping the malaika from taking them and punishing them, إِلَّا أَنْ أَعْرِضَ بِوَجْهِ هَكَذَا عَنْهُ. This is the rahmah of Rasulullah. Look at the power of the Holy Prophet. That out of respect for the Holy Prophet, as long as he is looking at them, there's no adhab on them. When Rasulullah looks at a kafir, Allah suspends punishment. What do you think will happen to the one who loves Rasulullah, who loves Ahlul Bayt, who revives the majalis of Ahlul Bayt, who comes to the masjid on a regular basis? Do you think he will not be included in this rahmah? وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. There's a beautiful hadith that I want to share with you. And this is a hadith, again, that allows us to understand that the dead have awareness. And it's a hadith that highlights the great status of women in Islam. The hadith says, Amir al-Mu'mineen, one day he came to Rasulullah crying, weeping. Rasulullah says, Ya Ali, mimma buka'uk? La abka Allahu aynaka, Ya Abul Hasan. May Allah never make your eyes fill with tears, O Ali. What happened? Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Ya Rasulullah, tuwaffiyat walidati. My mother has passed away. My mother Fatima bint Asad. Rasulullah says, Bal walidati ya Ali. This Fatima bint Asad, she was your mother, but she was also my mother. She took care of me when I was young. He says, فَلَقَدْ كَانَتْ تُجَوِّعُ أَوْلَادَهَا وَتُشَبِّعُنِي. This Fatima bint Asad, Rasulullah says, when I was young, if she had a small amount of food, she would feed me before she feeds her own children. Oh Ali, go and prepare her body for the burial. وَكَفِّنْهَا بِقَمِيصِي. Wrap her with my shirt. They prepare her body, and now it's time to take her janazah to the grave. All of the Sahaba gather. Rasulullah comes out of his house barefoot. It's a sign of azab. He comes out of his house barefoot, walking so cautiously and slowly, cautiously lifting up his foot and putting it down. The hadith says, فَلَمَّا صَلَّى عَلَيْهَا كَبَّرَ 70 تَكْبِيرًا. Allahu Akbar. Have you been to Salatul Mayyit? Salatul Mayyit, how many takbirat? 5. 5 takbirat is the customary way of praying over a janazah. Rasulullah does 70 in honor of this woman. They say Islam oppresses women. 70 takbirat. ثُمَّ لَحَدَهَا فِي قَبْرِهَا. Rasulullah goes down into the grave with her. ثُمَّ لَحَدَهَا فِي قَبْرِهَا بِيَدِهِ الْكَرِيمِ. بَعْدَ أَنْ نَامَ فِي قَبْرِهَا. He was laying in the grave with her. وَلَقَّنَهَا الشَّهَادَةِ. He did the talqeen. فَلَمَّا أُهِيلَ عَلَيْهَا التُّرَابِ وَأَرَادَ النَّاسُ الْإِنصِرَافِ. When they were putting the sand on her grave, people were getting ready to leave. Rasulullah stood on her grave and he said to her, ابنك لا جعفر ولا عقيل. ابنك لا جعفر ولا عقيل. The Sahaba, they came to Rasulullah, they said, Ya Rasulullah, you did many unusual things today. قيل يا رسول الله فعلت فعلا ما رأينا مثله قط. مشيت حافي القدم. You came barefoot. You usually don't walk barefoot to a janazah. وكبرت 70 تكبيرة. You usually do 5 تكبيرة. You did 70 today. ونومك في لحدها. You went down and you laid beside her. وقميصك عليها. She was wearing your qamis, your shirt. وقولك ابنك لا جعفر ولا عقيل. Why did you do this? قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله لا تصلوا على محمد وآله.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Brothers and sisters, this is a weak salawat. This is the salawat of people who are sleepy and tired. Give me a loud salawat with the loudest of your voices. صلوا على فقال صلى الله عليه وآله أما التأني في وضع أقدامي ورفعها في حال التشييع للجنازة. The reason why I was walking so slowly and so cautiously فلكثرة ازدحام الملائكة. You know, people say Amir al-Mu'mineen when he died, you know, Jibreel was carrying his kafan. Look what happened to his mother. Rasulullah says because it was so crowded with angels. You saw people. I see alamul malakut. Angels were in attendance. وَأَمَّا تَكْبِيرِي 70 تَكْبِيرًا. The reason why I did 70 تكبيرات فإنها صلى عليها 70 صفا من الملائكة. 70 rows of malaika prayed over her. Islam oppresses women. When you go to Hajj, the sa'i that you do between Safa and Marwa, aren't you walking in the footsteps of Hajar? When you do tawaf around the Kaaba, you have to go around Hijr Ismail. Do you know who's buried in Hijr Ismail? Hajar. Part of your ibadah is to honor this woman. Rasulullah says 70 rows of malaika were praying over. وَأَمَّا نَوْمِي فِي لَحْدِهَا. The reason why I went down and I slept beside her in the grave, فإني ذكرت في حال حياتها ضغطة القبر فقالت وضعفتها. I mentioned to her when she was alive of the squeezing of the grave, and she was afraid of that. So I went down to alleviate ضغطة القبر. وأما تكفيني لها بقميصي. The reason why we wrapped my shirt around her holy body is because فإني ذكرت لها في حياتها القيامة وحشر الناس عراة. I mentioned that people will be bare and naked on the day of judgment. فقالت وسوءتاه. So I covered her with this shirt. They asked him, Ya Rasulullah, why were you saying on top of her grave, Ibnuki la Ja'far wa la Aqil? The Holy Prophet, he says, وَأَمَّا قَوْلِ لَهَا ibnuki la Ja'far wa la Aqil. It's because Munkar and Nakir were asking her, من وليك وإمامك فاستحيت أن تقول ولدي. When Munkar and Nakir asked her, who is your imam? She was embarrassed to say, my son is the imam. So I told her, say it. Say to them that my imam is my son, Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi alayhi. Death, my dear brothers and sisters, is an important reality for us to bear in mind. On the day of Ashura, you'll find that almost all of the shuhada of Karbala, they were reciting verses of the Quran in remembrance of death. من المؤمنين رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه فمنهم من قضى نحبه ومنهم من ينتظر وما بدلوا تبديلا. On the day of Ashura, on the morning of the 10th of Muharram, Al-Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyahi, one of the commanders of the army of Umar ibn Sa'd, he looks at Umar ibn Sa'd, he sees everyone is preparing for battle. He asks Umar, Ya Umar, amuqatilun anta hadha? Oh Umar, do you plan on fighting Hussein on this day? Umar says, yes, we will fight all of them and we will annihilate them. On that morning, Hur is standing, looking at the caravan of Imam al-Hussein, looking towards the faces of Bani Hashim. He starts to tremble in fear. One of his companions says to him, Ya Hur, why are you shaking? Why are you trembling? Are you afraid of death? Are you afraid to fight? قال لا والله ولكن أرى نفسي مخيرة بين الجنة والنار. I am not afraid to fight, but at this moment I see myself choosing between paradise and hellfire. ولا أختار على الجنة شيئا. The traditions say that he made the decision. In that moment, he gets on his horse. He covers his face and he starts riding towards the camp of Imam al-Hussein. This is before the beginning of the battle. He's charging towards the camp of Imam al-Hussein and he's signaling to them that he's not coming to attack. He comes to Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he says, Man ant? Who are you? Hur. He doesn't say that my name is Hur. He introduces himself by mentioning the great mistake that he made a few days ago. قال أنا صاحبك الذي جعجعتك عن الطريق. أنا صاحبك الذي منعتك عن الطريق وجعجعت بك إلى هذا المكان فهل ترى لي من توبة؟ يا أبا عبد الله, I am the one who blocked you from Kufa. I am the one who has caused all of this distress upon your family. I am the reason why your children are crying Al-Atash, Al-Atash. فهل ترى لي من توبة? Will you forgive me, O Imam? Ya Aba Abdullah, is there a way to forgive me? The Imam alayhi salam, he says to him without any hesitation, without any grudges, قال إن تبت تاب الله عليك. If you repent, Allah will accept your repentance. He says, Aba Abdullah, since I was the one to cause your family so much pain and agony, give me permission to be the first one to go to the battlefield. The Imam alayhi salam, he gives him permission. He mounts his horse. He goes to the battlefield. He fights courageously until he's hit with a lethal blow. he falls on the plains of Karbala and he cries out, Aba Abdullah, alayka minni salam. Aba Abdullah, adrikni. Oh Aba Abdullah, come to me. The Imam alayhi salam, he sees Hur on the plains of Karbala bleeding profusely. He rushes to him. The Imam alayhi salam, he puts the head of Hur in his lap. He wipes away the blood from his face. And the Imam alayhi salam, he whispers to him. He says, Ma akhta'at ummuka idh sammatka hurra. فأنت حر في الدنيا وسعيد في الآخرة لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وسيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب سينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept the tears that we shed for Imam al-Hussein and his companions. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to honor us with the ziyarah of Abi Abdullah in the holy land of Karbala. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal finally and most importantly to honor us with the shafa'ah of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad on the day of judgment. يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين.
اللهم صل على